position. When we found the body, at that point we did switch gears. We've gone now from just a missing persons investigation to a murder investigation. Even though the body had yet to be identified, we were pretty confident that we had found Kristen at that point. She's been murdered, her body's been disposed of.
You always wish you could bring a victim back alive. And as soon as I cleared, I went home to check on my daughter. Not because there was anything wrong with her, I just wanted to make sure she was still there.
I drove up at our house. I look at a female DCI agent was there to meet us. I just knew why she was there. It was written all over her face. She said something along the lines of, "I'm sorry, they found her." I kind of snapped. What do I do now? Where does my family go from here?
When I got the call, my first feeling, of course, was outright fear. And my second feeling as a father was pure guilt. I was not there to protect her, so whatever happens is still my fault. I'm sorry, just remembering that day, that was it.
Our priority now is to identify a suspect. Chief Feathers suggested that the subject that I had added to the sex offenders list be looked at more closely.
James Peterson was a young man in his early 20s. He was unemployed, drank heavily, was divorced. So he would go over to his ex-wife's trailer, which was right across the street from Kristen's grandparents. And he would be there watching his children. He had a daughter, Lucy, who was about Kristen's age, and Kristen was a playmate of Lucy's. So he knew Kristen, was acquainted with the family, and was in contact with them. After 19 days of intense investigation, on August 8th, we brought James Peterson in and interviewed him and put him on a polygraph. And he failed that polygraph. In that interview, James Peterson confessed to sexually assaulting Kristen and that she died in the course of that sexual assault. And at the end of that interview, he was arrested and taken into custody.
We drove up in front of my parents' house. I looked across the street over at the trailer where Peterson lived. And the first thing I noticed was in the front bedroom window facing the street was a missing poster.